And hello, everybody, and welcome to part 5 of the PDC Darts World Championship Preview Series. So in the last part, we did sessions 7 and 8. You can see them on the screen right here. And in this part, we will be doing sessions 9 and 10, right there. Those 8 matches are what we're going to discuss, and then what we're going to simulate to see what happens. Now, you may notice that my schedule will not match the real one because I put them in a different order for my own convenience, but the bracket will be the same, so the matchups won't change, just the order in which they are played. So with that said, let's get down to the Aki and see our first matchup of Simon Whitlock the Wizard against Ryan Joyce. Well, Simon Whitlock, of course, has been around seemingly forever. He's won a major title, and he's been in the Premier League several times, including this past year. And he's really kind of resurrected himself over the past couple of years. He's made a pair of TV finals, made a couple of Euro Tour finals. He's certainly been close to winning some stuff. Well, he hadn't broken through yet, but certainly an improvement on where he has been. Whereas Ryan Joyce, more of the up-and-comer. Pretty consistent player, pretty solid. He beat Anastasia Brahmoslova in the first round to get here. And he's going to try to do the same to the number 8 seed Simon Whitlock. But can he do it? I would say no. I like Ryan Joyce, I really do, but I just don't think he's quite at Simon Whitlock's level. I think Whitlock is a very consistent player. He sometimes has a bad game here and there, but overall, he usually gives you what he can give you. And I think today that's going to be enough. I think he wins probably 3-2. If Whitlock plays really well, he could win by more, but I think Whitlock wins a close match. So with that said, let's take a look, see what happens. And here we go. And the winner is Simon Whitlock, 3-1. Yeah, so Whitlock played about his typical standard, a 93 average, pretty solid finishing. Joyce, 89 average essentially. And just Whitlock was a little bit better, 9-6 on the legs. Yeah, that's about what I thought. 3-1, 3-2, so that one seemed to go according to script. All right, up next we have Alan Chuck Norris against Steve Lennon. Now, Alan Norris has seen his rank tumbling down from inside the top 16 all the way down to 25. He's going to need to perform well, or he could see it tumble out of the top 32 here in the next few months. And that would be very bad for him, because he doesn't have really any Pro Tour money of note to fall back on should he fall out of the top 32. So he could be in trouble of falling out of the World Championships for next year. So he needs to perform. As for Steve Lennon, he's more of an upward trend. I don't think he's good a player, but he's certainly in better form. So it's the classic case of, do you take the stronger player who's struggling, or do you take the player who's maybe not quite as strong, but playing better? Ooh, I think this will be a good game. I think Steve Lennon actually can pull the upset here. I think he wins 3-2. I think it'll be a hard-fought game, maybe a pretty scrappy game. I don't think either player is going to put up a big average and just run away with it. I think we could have averages under 90 in this match. I really do. I think this is going to be a real scrappy game, so we'll see how this one goes. But let's get out there and throw some darts. Here we go. And off we go. Wow. Steve Lennon just fired out a 96 average, 50% on the doubles after I said that we might not even see a 90 average in this game. What do I know? Well, I did call it right. He did upset Norris, so I had the winner right. They just played better than I expected, but that's a good thing. We're never going to complain when the players play well. So Steve Lennon that's probably one of the best games you'll see out of him, between the finishing, the score, and the average, and just playing really well against a pretty good player. So, well done, Mr. Lennon. You are going on to the third round. Up next, we have the Machine James Wade against Ciego Asada. Now, this is probably the most lopsided match of this round, with the exception of MVG, which will almost always be extremely lopsided until the end. I like Ciego Asada. I said that in his first round match, of which he won, and I predicted him to potentially win that. But James Wade is just playing some of the best darts of his life right now. James Wade is not going to lose to Ciego Asada in his first match. That's just not going to happen. James Wade, he's won 2 majors this year. There's a reason he's won 2 majors this year. He's played great darts, especially the past 3 months. So this could be a 3-0. Though with James Wade, you never know, because he could go on one of those runs where he's just not scoring that well, and maybe Asada nicks a leg or two and wins an odd set. Could be 3-1, but I would think it would be a pretty wide margin. But Wade just doesn't ever tend to just wipe people off the stage. He always wins very methodically. But I don't think he'll have to do that. I think he can just purely outclass Asada here. So we will see. Good luck to all. And off we go. And Wade wins 3-0. Now, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Wade averaged less than Asada. I mean, you could argue, oh, it's the same. Okay, so we will say it's the same. But look at Wade. He wins 9 out of 14 legs in all 3 sets, despite averaging 92. That is a classic James Wade scoreline right there. You can tell by the number of legs Asada won. Wade won both the deciding legs. And you know what? That's just James Wade. He is just going to find a way to beat you, because that is just what James Wade does. And as I always like to say, winners find ways to win. And, well, James Wade is a winner. All right, moving on. Jelle Klaasen against Keegan Brown. Ooh, another match of 2 players not in the best of form. Keegan Brown, a young player everybody says has all the potential in the world, but he hasn't really fulfilled it as of yet. He still may get there, but it's just hasn't really happened for him. We're all waiting for him to take that next step. Will he make it this week? I don't know. He does have a pretty good draw, though. Jelle Klaasen was ranked, well, into the top 10 before a wrist injury and poor form kind of derailed him completely over the past year and a half. He was in the Premier League last year. It was disastrous. And then this year, he was mostly recovering from injury and really hasn't had any sort of consistent form. He's won a few matches here and there, but he's never put any sort of big runs together, hence why his ranking has tumbled all the way down to 24. So, who's going to win this one? Well, I think I'd pick Keegan Brown. I think he wins at 3-1. I think Klaasen's form is just off. He can't seem to decide what he wants to do as far as finishing. And I think that's going to hurt him. So I'm going Keegan Brown 3-1. And here we go. Klaasen 3-2. Look at that. I called one wrong. Now, then again, in my defense, who said that Keegan Brown was going to average 87? What is that? 8 for 26 on doubles. That's not going to work. Wow, 4 ton-plus checkouts for Klaasen. Wow. Well, Klaasen brought his A game, at least from a finishing perspective. Holy cow, 4 big finishes. That's impressive. If he plays like that, well, he might return to the top 16, but that's certainly an if as of this moment. He has not done it in a while, but it shows that the potential is still there. All right. Up next, we have Jackpot Adrian Lewis and against Ted Yvetz. We'll start off with Jackpot, the former two-time back-to-back champion of the world. He hasn't played like it as of late. He certainly struggled last year. He had a back injury and some poor form, getting over that. So he saw his ranking tumble all the way down to 16 after a shocking first-round defeat last year at the hands of unknown German Kevin Munch. He certainly is going to try to right that wrong this year. He's had a better year than he did last year. He certainly is playing closer to his A game than he has been recently, so he's got some more work to do, but he's certainly on an upward trend, I think. As for Ted Yvetz, another young player who's playing some good darts. He's an up-and-comer. Is he ready to beat a two-time world champion on the Alley Pally stage? I don't know. He certainly has shown he can win important matches. He won himself a tour card just a couple of weeks ago, so we'll be seeing probably a lot of him in the next couple of years if he continues to improve and play his game. Who do I like in this game? It's hard to bet against a two-time world champion going against a relative unknown. I say that simply because Ted may not be too familiar to those who are not big darts fans, but he certainly is known as a promising young player. I just don't think this is quite his time just yet. I'm going Jackpot 3-1. All right, so let's see what happens here. We've got Ted Yvetz, Adrian Lewis. I said 3-1 Lewis. Let's see what happens. 3-0 Lewis. Despite some sloppy play, only averaging 90. What is wrong with you guys? Well, the averages will probably pick up in the later stages. They always do. We all know that. It's kind of a scrappy game. The Jackpot did win 9 out of 13 legs, so he was doing enough to win. Just, he'll probably feel like he needs to play a little better than that. Averaging 90 is not going to get you too far, especially not with... we can see on the bracket who he will likely play in the next round and who he will likely play in the round after that. And he has to know that averaging 90 is not going to cut it against either one of those, let's just say, Dutch superstars. All right, so moving on. We've got RVB, Raymond van Barneveld, against Darius Labanauskas from Lithuania. Well, I don't think Raymond van Barneveld needs much of an introduction. He's a 5-time world champion, and he is entering his last year as a professional darter. He announced his retirement just recently. And this could be his last world championship because he had a lot of money to defend. He was in the semifinals 2 years ago, in which MVG averaged about 170 against him or something like that in the semifinals. So, yeah, I think he could have given Barney 6 darts that day and it wouldn't have mattered. Despite the fact Barney actually played very well in that match, it's just sometimes your opponent's that damn good. So he is more than capable of winning in these long formats. He's certainly proven it over the years. Does he still have it? I think he does. He just doesn't play enough, which could hurt him. But we will see. As for Labanauskas, now here's a relative unknown who certainly seems to perform well when he gets there. He made several European tours as the Eastern European qualifier and actually did pretty well once he got there. He won a few matches, hence why he got here today. He is qualified, and he's earned his way here. This is not just something random. He's a solid player. I like his game. He's done some good things in the BDO as well before switching to PDC, so I think he's going to be someone you should watch out for in the next couple of years. As for today, this match is all about RVB. Labanauskas does not have enough to really challenge Van Barneveld Hill. If Van Barneveld plays the way he's supposed to play, and we know that he's capable of, this could be 3-0. I like Barney 3-0. I think Barney is going to bring it, and I just don't think Labanauskas is going to be able to hang with him. All right, so let's see here. And the winner is Barney 3-0 with a good solid 95 average. 9 out of 22 on the doubles, not bad. Could do a little better there. Lebanauskas scored well, but the finishing failed him. Only 5 out of 21. That's not going to get it done against a very good player. And as you can see, Barney, he just finished better, won 9 out of 14 legs, and he will be moving on to face Jackpot. All right, the next one, we have the German number 1, Max Hopp, against Danny Noppert. Now, Max Hopp is perhaps the most loved player in darts, and perhaps the most hated, depending on which country you're from. If you're in Germany, everyone loves Max Hopp. Everyone cheers for him and hates whoever he plays against, which is very much to the ire of everyone else. The German crowds drive everyone nuts. But Max Hopp certainly feeds off of that, and he has ridden a couple of German crowds to some big finishes this year. He's won a Euro Tour event, the first German to ever win on stage, which was great for him. And he also made the semifinals of the European Championships in front of his home crowd before falling to James Wade. So he's had a very good year, and you can see he is seeded because of it. Last year, I'm not even sure he made the World Championships last year. If he did, he was not seeded, because he's come way up in the rankings to get up to 32. So he's definitely on a big upward trend. As his opponent, Danny Noppert. Danny Noppert's in his first year on tour. He's come flying up the rankings, and he has earned it. He's played really, really well. He is a former Lakeside runner-up, so it's not like he came out of nowhere. People who followed the BDO knew who this guy was and knew this guy could definitely be a force on the PDC, and he is showing it. He hasn't had any really big finishes, but he certainly showed that he is in contention for anything, and he can beat anybody, and he should never be taken lightly. His ranking will continue to grow because he's not defending any money next year, so he could definitely be a guy who flies into the top 32 next year. In fact, I would be surprised if Danny Noppert is not in the top 32 next year. Put it down right now. I'm calling it. Danny Noppert will be seeded at next year's World Championships. But will it be because of the money he wins in this tournament? Well, I think it could be, because I think he beats Max Hopp. Max Hopp loves playing at home. He's not going to have that in this match. And I think Noppert's just a little better than him right now. I think it'll be close. I think Noppert wins 3-2. But Hopp is just a little inconsistent for my liking. So, with that said, let's get out there and let's see how they do. All right, let's send them on stage. All right, and here we go. And Noppert wins 3-2. I called another one. Sweet. I'm on fire today. All right, so what happened here? Well, neither one finished very well. They were both around 30% on the finishing, so they're both going to need to clean that up for their next match. Well, of course, there won't be a next match for Hopp. Oh, yeah, Noppert will most certainly need to clean that up because a 90 average and roughly 30% on the doubles will not cut it against who he's probably going to play in the next round. So he should be quite thankful that his opponent was equally struggling on the doubles, or this would have been, well, certainly his exit, but it shall not be, because he won 3 sets to Max Hopp's 2, and he will be going on to face the winner of Michael Van Gerwen and Alan Tabern, who we will see right now. Now, do I really need to say anything about Michael Van Gerwen? Let's see. The guy's won 2 World Championships. He's won... I would tell you how many things he's won, but as a darts player, I can only count up to 501, so I can't even count everything he's won. Now, some might make the argument, oh, he's not playing his best right now, or he's struggling with his form. So what? He's the best player in the world. I don't care what his form is. Michael Van Gerwen on a bad day is still better than anybody else, except for maybe Gary Anderson on a good day. That's just the facts. So, if Michael Van Gerwen, and this is him saying it, and he's exactly right. If he plays his game just normal, his opponent has to be brilliant to beat him, and I agree with that. If his opponent doesn't play well, nothing matters. He's going to get smashed. If MVG plays well, brings his A game, nothing matters. I mean, maybe Gary can play with him. That's about it. No one else can touch him. Can Alan Tavern touch him? No. Alan Tavern's a nice player, and he qualified for the World Championship, and I certainly respect that, but he's not going to be anywhere close to MVG. Can he win a leg off of MVG? Maybe. I don't know. I think more likely is you see 9 straight legs go to MVG than you see Alan Tavern winning a leg, or winning the match. I don't think Tavern will be the slightest bit competitive here. 3-0 MVG. This should be a pretty much a beatdown, so we'll see. And there we have it. 3-1 as expected. 3-0 as expected. And so there you have it. There is the end of round 2. We'll go ahead and plug this in before we sign off. Okay, there we go. So in the next one, we will see Noppert against Van Gerwen, a nice Dutch matchup. In fact, we had 3 Dutch players win in a row. We count RVB. Yeah, the Clausen won too. It was a good day to be Dutch. Wow, 9 out of 10 on the double is very impressive. All right, so with that said, we will be moving on to round 3 of the next video. So if you liked this and you want to see some more of this, drop us a like, drop us a sub. I appreciate that more than you can ever imagine. And I certainly hope that you tune in for the next one where we start round 3. So till next time, everyone, see y'all later, and see you next time.